Protecting your energy is not about building walls to keep the world out, when it is about knowing the value of what you carry within and refusing to let it be drained by careless hands. Your thoughts, emotions, and experiences are a kind of inner currency. They can be invested into growth, or they can be spent wastefully in places that bring no return. Every story you share, every dream you reveal, and every detail of your personal struggles carries a part of your energy with it. Once released, it is no longer fully yours. The person hearing it will interpret it through their own lens, shaped by their own biases, fears, and limitations. When you tell everyone your story, you give them the power to influence how you see your own path. Some will respond with encouragement, but others, even without bad intentions, may cast shadows of doubt, planting seeds that were never there before. A single careless comment, a moment of skepticism, or a subtle tone of disbelief can make you question yourself more than you realize. Protecting your energy means understanding that not all opinions deserve a place in your inner world. In life, there are people who will listen to you only to measure you against their own insecurities. Your successes may feel like threats to them. Your struggles may be turned into gossip. This is not always out of malice. Often, it is simply human nature to filter someone else's story through personal experience. But if you allow too many of these filters to color your vision, you will find yourself trying to please voices that were never meant to guide you. Protecting your energy requires self-awareness. It means pausing before you speak and asking yourself, is this the right time? Is this the right person? Is this the right purpose? There is a difference between being open and being exposed. Openness is a conscious choice to share in a way that builds trust and connection. Exposure is when you reveal too much, too soon, to people who have not earned the right to hear it. There is also an energetic cost to retelling your story repeatedly. Each time you speak about certain events, especially painful ones, you relive them in some form. You stir the same emotions, the same memories, and the same mental images. This can either be healing or draining, depending on the listener's ability to hold space for you. The wrong listener will not carry your burden with you. They will add weight to it. Protecting your energy is not selfishness. It is discipline. It is choosing to direct your emotional, mental, and even spiritual reserves toward actions that strengthen you. When your energy is scattered, given away freely in every conversation, every online post, every casual encounter. You will feel depleted, unfocused, and vulnerable to external influence. But when you keep it close, you cultivate inner power. You are able to move with clarity, unaffected by noise and distractions. You must also remember that energy is contagious. If you share your vision with someone who is fearful, they may pass their fear onto you. If you share your struggles with someone who thrives on negativity, they may amplify your pain instead of helping you rise from it. This is why it is vital to be intentional about who gets access to your inner life. The fewer people you allow to carry pieces of your energy, the more whole and steady you remain within yourself. Protecting your energy is a lifelong practice. It is the silent art of keeping your light burning without letting others dim it through carelessness or ignorance. It is the quiet strength of knowing that your story is precious and not every ear deserves to hear it. And it is the wisdom to understand that your energy, once lost, takes time and effort to rebuild. There is a deep power in moving silently and letting your actions carry the weight of your intentions. Words are easy to form. They require no proof, no sacrifice, and no discipline. Actions, on the other hand, demand consistency, focus, and commitment. Anyone can announce their goals to the world, but not everyone has the strength to walk the path that leads to them. This is why there is wisdom in doing the work quietly, without broadcasting every step you plan to take. When you tell people what you are going to do, you may feel an initial rush of excitement. Speaking it aloud can make the dream seem more real in your mind. But this same rush can trick you into believing that progress has already been made simply because you have spoken about it. In reality, no amount of discussion replaces the hours of disciplined effort required to turn a vision into reality. The energy spent in telling others could be better invested in building the foundation for what you want to achieve. Letting actions speak louder than words also removes the pressure of outside expectations. The moment you tell someone about your plans, you invite their opinions, their doubts, and sometimes their unsolicited advice. If you are still in the early stages of your journey, these voices can distract you, slow you down, or even make you question your own capabilities. By keeping your plans to yourself, you create a safe space to make mistakes. Adjust your approach and learn without the weight of constant observation. There is also an element of surprise in moving in silence. When you reveal your results instead of your intentions, you remove the possibility of others undermining your work before it has matured. Many people will not understand your vision until they can see it in physical form. Some may even dismiss it outright if you speak too early. But when your actions deliver undeniable results, those same people are forced to acknowledge what you have accomplished. Silence becomes a shield that protects your ideas from premature criticism. Acting instead of talking also cultivates discipline within yourself. It forces you to focus on what truly matters, the daily effort, the small consistent steps, and the patience required to stay the course. Without the external reward of praise or recognition for merely speaking about your goals, you are left with the pure work itself. This builds a resilience that words alone can never provide. Over time, your character becomes shaped not by promises made, but by promises kept to yourself. When your actions become your primary language, people begin to take your presence more seriously. They learn that you are not one to waste words or exaggerate your abilities. Your credibility grows not through persuasion, but through undeniable proof. In a world where many speak endlessly and do little, being the person who acts more than they talk creates a quiet, commanding presence. You no longer need to explain who you are or what you stand for. Your work becomes your introduction. Letting actions speak louder than words also preserves your energy for what truly matters. Talking about your dreams can feel satisfying in the moment, but it can also drain the drive needed to actually pursue them. By holding your plans close and channeling your energy into execution, you keep the fire alive within you. The satisfaction comes not from imagining the achievement, but from living it through consistent effort and tangible results. There is a timeless truth in understanding that the world listens more carefully to actions than to promises. Words can be forgotten, twisted, or ignored, but actions leave a mark that is difficult to erase. They tell the story without needing a narrator. They speak a universal language understood by all. The language of proof, discipline, and results. Growth is often misunderstood as something that should be displayed for the world to witness. Many believe that the moment progress begins, it must be shared, documented, and validated by others. But real growth is a delicate process, one that thrives in stillness and privacy. It is like the unseen work that happens beneath the soil before a seed becomes a plant. In that hidden space, transformation is protected from the harshness of outside judgment, allowing it to develop its strength before facing the world. When you grow in private, you give yourself the space to experiment without fear. You are free to fail quietly, to adjust your path without having to answer to anyone's expectations. The world can be quick to praise, but it can also be quick to criticize. If your growth is still in its fragile stages, too much outside input can uproot it before it has the chance to take hold. Privacy becomes a shield, preserving your progress until it is ready to endure external pressures. In private growth, there is no need to perform for others. You are not bound by the image you have created or the words you have spoken. Instead, you are bound only to the truth of your own journey. This allows for deeper, more authentic transformation. You are not moving forward to impress or prove anything to anyone. You are moving forward because the change matters to you. This freedom from external validation allows growth to be steady, sustainable, and genuine. The process of growing in private also sharpens your self-awareness. Without the noise of outside opinions, you are able to hear your own thoughts more clearly. You begin to recognize patterns, habits, and beliefs that either strengthen you or hold you back. This internal dialogue is essential because growth is not just about visible achievements. It is about the quiet changes in perspective, mindset, and discipline that shape your character. These subtle shifts are often invisible to others, but they form the foundation for every visible success that follows. There is a natural temptation to share your progress prematurely. In the age of constant sharing, keeping parts of your life private can feel unnatural. But every time you share, you open a door for outside energy to enter. Not all energy is supportive. Some can be distracting, competitive, or even discouraging. Even meaning people can unintentionally project their fears onto your journey. Protecting your growth in its early stages allows you to build the resilience to handle these influences later. When your progress is stronger and less vulnerable. Growing in private also allows you to work at your own pace. When your progress is public, you may feel pressure to move faster than is natural for you. You might push beyond your capacity just to maintain an image or meet the expectations you have set for others. In private, there is no race. There is only the rhythm that your mind, body, and spirit can sustain. This pace is what leads to lasting results because it honors your capacity rather than exhausting it. Another truth about private growth is that it creates powerful moments of quiet victory. These are the small, unseen achievements that no one else may notice. the day you resisted an old habit, the moment you learned a new skill, the hour you spent in focused practice without distraction. These victories are deeply personal, and their value does not depend on being witnessed. They are the bricks that build the structure of your transformation, and each one adds to your inner strength. In the end, growth that happens in private becomes unshakable because it has been tested and strengthened away from the spotlight. By the time it emerges, it is not a fragile shoot that can be easily trampled. It is a rooted, resilient force that can withstand the winds of criticism, doubt, and challenge. Not every person you meet is meant to carry the weight of your story. Some will hear you, but not truly listen. Others will listen, but not understand. And there are those who will understand, but lack the strength to protect what you've shared. Choosing your listeners wisely is an act of self-respect, because your story is more than just words. It is a reflection of your experiences, your struggles, your victories, and your identity. Giving it to the wrong ears can distort its meaning and diminish its value. When you speak to someone about your life, you open a door into your inner world. You give them the power to influence how you see yourself and your path. If that person has a small mind, a narrow heart, or an unsettled spirit, they may not treat that door with care. Some will unconsciously place their own fears and insecurities onto you. Others might turn your vulnerabilities into casual conversation when you are not there. This is why it is essential to know who truly deserves access. A wise listener is not simply someone who is kind. Kindness can be shallow when it lacks wisdom or discretion. The right listener is someone who has proven their ability to hold your trust over time. They have shown consistency in their loyalty, restraint in their words, and respect for boundaries. They do not need to agree with you to support you, and they do not offer advice just to hear themselves speak. They listen to understand, not to respond. The wrong listener, however, can derail your confidence without even trying. They may ask the wrong questions, subtly criticize your choices, or make comparisons that plant seeds of doubt. Sometimes their intentions may be good, but their words can still weaken your resolve. Other times, their intentions may not be good at all, and they may quietly use what you tell them to measure you, compete with you, or even undermine you. In both cases, the result is the same. Your clarity fades and your motivation suffers. Choosing your listeners wisely also means recognizing that not everyone has the emotional capacity to hold your story. Some people are dealing with their own struggles and cannot give you the focus or support you need. Others may not yet have the maturity to understand the depth of what you are sharing. This does not make them bad people. It simply means they are not the right people for this role in your life. There is also the matter of timing. Even the right listener may not be ready to hear certain parts of your journey at the wrong moment. Just as a seed cannot grow in frozen soil, your story will not take root in someone who is distracted, emotionally burdened, or unprepared to engage with it fully. Part of choosing wisely is knowing when to wait and when to speak. Another layer to this wisdom is understanding that your listener's energy matters as much as their words. Some people may not openly criticize you, but their subtle body language, their tone, or their silence can still carry messages of doubt. A wise listener offers presence, the kind of attention that makes you feel heard, seen, and respected. This presence reinforces your own sense of purpose and clarity. The fewer people you choose to share with, the more sacred your story becomes. It is held in a smaller, stronger circle where trust can grow without interference. These chosen listeners become guardians of your truth, helping you see yourself clearly when your own vision becomes clouded. They remind you of your strength when you begin to forget it, and they stand by you without needing to broadcast their loyalty to the world. Silence is often misunderstood. In a world that glorifies constant expression, endless sharing, and the urge to have a voice in every conversation, silence is sometimes mistaken for insecurity or a lack of confidence. But true silence, the kind that is chosen intentionally, is not born from fear. It is born from strength. It is the conscious decision to withhold words until they are necessary, to protect your energy by not engaging in every exchange, and to guard your truth until the time is right. Silence is strength because it demands self-control. It is far easier to speak impulsively than to remain quiet in the face of provocation, doubt, or misunderstanding. Anyone can react. It takes discipline to respond only when it matters. By staying silent, you are not surrendering your position. You are choosing to preserve your energy for moments when your voice will carry the most weight. The power of your words grows when they are rare, intentional, and backed by action. There is also wisdom in knowing that not every thought needs to be spoken, and not every truth needs to be shared. Silence gives you space to think, to evaluate, and to decide how much of yourself you want to reveal. the more you speak unnecessarily, the more you give away pieces of your inner world to those who may not value or respect it. Choosing silence is not hiding. It is deciding that your truth is too valuable to be handled carelessly. In silence, you can observe without distraction. You hear more, see more, and understand more when you are not busy trying to be heard. This makes silence a powerful tool for clarity. In conversations, those who speak less often learn more about others, their intentions, their patterns, their sincerity. People reveal themselves when you give them space to talk, and silence allows you to see beyond the surface of their words. Silence is also a form of protection. When you withhold your plans, your struggles, and your victories, you reduce the chance of them being twisted, doubted, or undermined. It shields you from unnecessary interference, allowing your life to unfold without the weight of outside expectations. Too often, people mistake visibility for progress, but the truth is that the most important steps in any journey are taken quietly, without announcement. Strength in silence is also seen in moments of conflict. The instinct to defend yourself against every accusation or misunderstanding is strong. But not every situation requires your explanation. Sometimes, allowing the truth to speak for itself over time is far more powerful than engaging in endless arguments. Silence in such moments communicates confidence, the unshakable belief that your character does not need constant defense. There is a deep connection between silence and inner peace. When you do not feel compelled to respond to everything or to prove yourself constantly, you create space within for calmness. This space strengthens your resilience, allowing you to remain steady in the face of chaos. Others may misinterpret this calm as weakness, but it is in fact a reflection of control. You are not moved by every wave because you have learned to stand firm in your own truth. Silence also nurtures patience. It allows you to wait for the right time to act, the right time to speak, and the right time to reveal your intentions. This patience ensures that when you do choose to step forward, you do so from a position of readiness rather than impulse. Words spoken too early can weaken your position, but words released at the right moment can change the course of events entirely. To embrace silence as strength is to understand that your value does not depend on constant visibility. You do not need to announce every thought, every step, or every victory to prove your worth. You can move with quiet confidence, knowing that the absence of noise does not mean the absence of progress. In fact, it is often in the quiet that the most powerful transformations take place